take a look at Bitcoin, which broke above key resistance today. So it was only a minor level of resistance, but let's jump over to the big board here. If we take a look at Bitcoin, what do we have? We have Bitcoin holding steady. This was that key pivot line, and I've harped on this pivot line in these game plans nonstop.
Bitcoin Zella stands out with its simplicity and clarity. We've crafted an experience that anyone can dive into, whether you're a crypto expert or just a new to the crypto world. Now, guess who keeps his eye on us? The author of best-selling book Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. And we want to take this opportunity and thank all the people who trusted us, and we read every comment. And the best part, it's free. Subscribing now means you will get all new information for free. Don't just follow the trends, stay ahead of them. Subscribe to Bitcoin Zella today and enjoy the new edge. In this video, let's discuss these topics and more.
This is the beginning of earnings season, and it's going to get spicy. So what does that mean? Well, here's your earnings. Today, nothing really going on. This is pre-market. This is aftermarket. It's starting tomorrow. You have Walgreens here, which I am long currently, although it's already had a pretty nice bounce off the lows. United Health, Citigroup, Bank of America. Those are all tomorrow morning, the big names. After the even included, and this is still pre-market, J&J, Johnson & Johnson, Progressive, Charles Schwab, and Goldman Sachs. So that's just tomorrow morning, and I'll be covering those in the game plan with technical trading levels for us so that we can make some money off of the moves here. But also then aftermarket, United Airlines, by the way, bearish chart like crazy, overbought like crazy. I have it with the members in Smart Money Stocks. We are short. And again, doesn't mean there's no risk there, but probability-wise, I do favor downside. IBKR, JB Hunt. JB Hunt, by the way, for those of you that don't know, that's a transportation stock. So that is important more on a macro basis to see what they say about the economy in terms of transports. All right. This is going to be big. Wednesday morning, and this is like at 1 in the morning Eastern time, but obviously we'll analyze it in the game plan. ASML is the first big chip name to report earnings. That is going to set the tone for Wednesday market. All right, we're going to see what the chip stocks are doing here. Morgan Stanley, U.S. Bank, and then after hours, we have Alcoa, PPG, CSX, which is another transportation stock, Kinder Morgan, Equifax, Discovery, Steel Dynamics, etc. Not so big. Thursday, chips coming out now. We're starting to get the chips. TSMC, that's Taiwan Semiconductor. That's going to be very, very big for the markets. Travelers Insurance, and then, of course, after the bell, Netflix. And this one for the tech sector is kind of your kickoff. Taiwan Semi is kind of like that, along with ASML, but that's more chip-related. This one will be looked at as being more of the first bigger company that is more general to the consumer, the streaming services obviously as well. And then obviously Friday morning we have American Express, Procter & Gamble, and Schlumberger. All right, so again, it is starting. It's going to be fun. Don't forget to sign up for the Earnings Trader. I'm doing the morning sessions, most of them with the guys there at Earnings Trader. We're trading in the morning from like 6:30 to 7:30 or so. And then also after hours, they're going to be rocking it on calling out and trading these earnings in their live segments. And they're doing like 2 or 3 lives a week during earnings season. It's going to be pretty fun. Okay, lastly, I just wanted to go through a couple final charts with you guys. Take a look at this. This is the U.S. dollar, which is up again today. Incredible. The move on the U.S. dollar has been nothing short of astonishing in terms of how many green candles to the upside on the daily. I still remember, if you remember, when we were down here, I drew this wedge pattern in, and I said, guys, at some point we could retrace to the scene of the crime. Look at how fast we've come up here. Now, if the dollar slams here, it should get majorly rejected, but it still has a little ways to go before that happens. Same thing with the 10-year yield. The 10-year yield, or the bond market here, which again is closed today, but the 10-year yield again trading at 4.1%. Here's your retrace to the scene of the crime, 4.35. I would expect it to get rejected mightily off of that level. All right, let's go to quickly look at gold real quick here. And if we go to the gold chart, here's my 2660 trend line. It's still being respected. It hasn't gotten a big pullback, though. We've kind of had a drawdown, a little bit of a pop, and now a small pullback today. My downside target remains in the 2,500 range, which isn't a big pullback by any stretch. And then if we look at silver here, we still see silver pulling back today after a couple bounce days late last week. My target zone for a buy on silver remains just around that $29 level. Oil today taking a little bit of a beating here, down about 1.8%, and this is on the back of more concerns about China. Is China doing enough stimulus? All these things out there. And again, really, This is what always happens. You get these monster moves from this initial stimulus, a lot of that short covering, FOMOing in. And then what happens is then people are like, wait a minute, when is this going to kick in? How long is it going to take for this stimulus to have an impact? Is it going to have an impact? Which then brings the China market back in. China market's actually held pretty strong. I still think it pulls back a little bit more before your next leg up. In terms of oil, my 2025 target, I'm not shy about targets, guys. Hold my feet to the fire. That's fine. A $50 price target for 2025 tells you there's a lot of downside there.
MicroStrategy stock is trading at a 270% premium to its Bitcoin holdings, driven by its leveraged Bitcoin strategy and steady cash flow from its software business. MicroStrategy controls $1 and 1 cent in assets for every $1 of equity, thanks to its leveraged strategy. This allows the company to amplify Bitcoin's price movements, increasing its net asset value premium when Bitcoin rises. MicroStrategy's software business generated $111 million in Q2, providing cash flow that supports its debt obligations and BTC purchases without selling its holdings. Since adopting Bitcoin as its primary treasury asset in 2020, MSTOR's stock has outperformed Bitcoin, rising 1,700% compared to Bitcoin's 500%. This track record has earned MSTR the nickname Bitcoin on steroids, reflecting investor belief in its long-term Bitcoin strategy. MSTR's leverage and business model make it a high premium bet for investors confident in Bitcoin's future growth.
Take a look at Bitcoin, which broke above key resistance today. So it was only a minor level of resistance, but let's jump over to the big board here. If we take a look at Bitcoin, what do we have? We have Bitcoin holding steady. This was that key pivot line. And I've harped on this pivot line in these game plans nonstop. The reason why I was harping on, because it's the midpoint of a parallel channel, and you could see how amazing it was working here. I mean, even over here, it got up here, it chopped, rejected, chopped, and then broke above, never confirmed, got pushed back below. That's what you expect. Hit it here, finally confirmed, and what do you guys know? So when you have a trend line and you confirm above it, that means that the line, so this was resistance here when it was below, it means this line is going to be major support. So the idea being is that as we were coming up and here's your close above, here's your confirming candle, now you've confirmed above the major pivot line. What does it mean? It means that pivot line now becomes major support. What happens? Comes up, hits, pushes it up, hits, pushes it up, and then you have this little trend line starting right here, and we've now broken above that. So this looks good. Remember last week, early in the week, Bitcoin was underperforming the S&P like crazy. It's now playing a little bit of catch-up. What does this mean? It means that people are more willing to take more risk in this environment. They're saying, wait a minute, the economy, all the data is coming out, it seems okay, the Fed's on our side, all of these factors. And even with CPI going up, and by the way, maybe CPI even helping things with Bitcoin a little bit since inflation's upticking a little bit, that's pushing the want to be invested in Bitcoin higher. Now, again, let's watch today. Remember, the cat's away, the mice will play. That even is valid for crypto. There'll be less institutional involvement in crypto. Therefore, you could get these little pops. But nonetheless, as long as we continue above this pivot line right here, okay, then what does that mean? It means basically that we're most likely going to head up here. If we break and confirm below this line here, then you go here. Okay, so very simple. I want to keep everything so simple. I love things that are simple, and I know you guys do too. Just simple levels to watch so we know exactly where things will go.
Key U.S. economic events, Federal Reserve speeches, and corporate earnings could introduce volatility to Bitcoin's price this week, as the market remains tightly range-bound. September's retail sales report, released on Thursday, is a key indicator of consumer spending and inflationary pressures. Additionally, industrial production data, also due Thursday, will shed light on the health of U.S. industries such as manufacturing and mining. Fed officials, including Governor Christopher Waller and San Francisco Fed President Mary Daly, will deliver speeches this week, providing clues about the potential 0.25% interest rate cut in November. Major financial institutions reporting earnings this week could influence market dynamics, with investors closely watching for signals on economic conditions and liquidity. Despite the economic backdrop, Bitcoin has traded within a narrow range, briefly reaching $64,000. Ethereum followed suit, while altcoins posted minimal gains as market consolidation continues. With a packed economic calendar and Fed activity, Bitcoin traders are preparing for potential market shifts in the coming days. James Howells, an engineer from Wales, is suing Newport City Council for $647 million to recover a hard drive containing 7,500 bitcoins, which was mistakenly discarded in 2013. Howells' case now lies in the hands of the court, but until a final ruling is made, he remains focused on recovering what he believes is rightfully his. If you've been with us so far, a big thank you. Don't forget to subscribe for free to Bitcoin Zella for your daily news. The link is waiting below. That's all for today's crypto news. Stick around for more updates, insights, and analysis on cryptocurrencies. Share your thoughts in the comments, like this video, and subscribe for more exciting content.